right, welcome back everyone to the Easton Hoyt Pro-Am here in Minden, Louisiana, Bossier City Civic Center. That's where we are competing this afternoon. Senior Known Pro is our next division up. Nathan Brooks, we're going to get our leaderboard here. We want to know how our competitors broke down. There it is, and look at the top of that. Go ahead, Nathan, I'll let you describe it.
Wow. So Michael Braden, Rodney Greathouse, Rick Baker, Jeff Borg, all at 430. You can call that second place because that's where it's at right now. And Tim Gillingham is 446, 16 points ahead. So barring something crazy happening, which anything can happen.
That's right.
This is a battle for second place, but I'm telling you, nothing is over until it's over.
All right, Nathan, we're going to bring out our archers and get the action rolling. Our fifth place qualifier with a score of 430 and 16 bonus rings from Big Rock, Illinois, shooting for Matthews, Jeff Borg. And our fourth place qualifier with a score of 430 and 16 bonus rings from London, Kentucky, shooting for Matthews, Rick Baker. Our number three qualifier with a score of 430 and 17 bonus rings from Ripley, West Virginia, shooting for Elite, Rodney Greathouse. And our number two qualifier with a score of 430 and 17 bonus rings from Keller, Texas, shooting for Matthews, Michael Braden. And our number one qualifier with a score of 446 and 27 bonus rings from Provo, Utah, shooting for Matthews, Tim Gillingham. All right, Nathan, 27 bonus rings Mr. Gillingham shot.
So I did the math on that. That's 62% of the targets he shot this weekend ended with a 12 as a result. That's
unbelievable.
That's unbelievably impressive. You look at, 17 rings like Michael Braden shot is fantastic. I mean, that's almost half. That's actually 43%, something like that.
Right.
And anyone would be happy with that. But 67%, that's just, that's next level.
Yeah. Yeah, Tim Gillingham is just a different kind of archer. Studies this game. He is like a professor of archery. There's nothing he doesn't know on his equipment. He knows what it all does.
Well, that's definitely true, and he pretty much knows what everyone else's does too, because he's tried it all. And you know, there's so much that goes into the technical side of this. But at the same time, it's really a mental game.
Yeah.
And he's really strong mentally to do what he's done, shooting on command for 20-something plus years. That's a strong mental game.
He opens with a 10 on the HHA Ram, and then we come over to Michael Braden on the Stan Leopard, 10 for Michael Braden. We're going to come over to the Gas Bowstrings Coyote for Rodney Greathouse.
That looks like a center 10 from here, but
now
we'll let Scott tell us.
Nathan, we can talk distances now.
Yes, we can.
This is a known distance class, so these guys are using rangefinders. So that Coyote that Rodney just shot, that is 32 yards. And the Bow Doodle bedded buck we're going to, Rick Baker, 48 yards, so 2 yards off the max.
That's our longest shot today here on this field of play.
A 10 for Rick. We're coming around to Jeff Borg on the Schwacker Wolverine. It is 39 yards.
You know, that's really tough to pick out on that Wolverine where the rings are at. I mean, even if you're shooting and don't get me wrong, it's not easy to pick out any target really, but that's really tough. That's so much going on there.
Yeah, it's got that line we saw between light and dark, but can you see it? How far off of that peak do you need to be? It's all a mystery to me, Nathan. But these guys have it figured out.
Yeah, they've done this a while. I know every one of these guys, and I'm gonna tell you what, PJ. I wish we had been mic'd up. Look, did you see Michael Braden? He tried to load another arrow. That's the senior class right there. We had so much fun. Just a few minutes ago, they were warming up, and there's so much trash talking with these guys.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was funny. I so wish we could have caught all that.
You want to hear trash talking? Get guys over 50 competing at something. Forget it.
And especially guys that have competed with each other for,
Decades.
20 and 30
Yeah.
years. They all know each other's kids and families, and they've done this week in, week out. I mean, they all know each other really well.
So Jeff Borg is on target 1. That's our HHA Ram. It is 38.5 yards. And our last target, the Stan Leopard, Tim Gillingham shooting at that, is 44 yards. So, see what we got here.
I expect to see some rings hit here pretty soon. Known distance, these guys typically hit quite a few. But I'm curious. I went out on the range just a second ago before they started. That's a 10
For Jeff
for
Borg.
Jeff.
Yep.
And I didn't notice any interesting lighting problems. It looked good to me.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you get a funky glare in this interior lighting, or a dark or a shadow, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, the one thing that you don't know is what it looks like through your peep sight.
Right.
Because you can get a lot of variance there on how you're backlit.
Yeah.
And what you're seeing through your lens. These guys all shoot lenses, and so they're dealing with glass and things like that. That could be an issue. That's a 10 on the gas Bowstrings Coyote.
That was Michael Braden. We're coming down to Rodney Greathouse on that 48-yard bedded buck, and he did call upper, Nathan. So here's one of our first close calls.
Looks to me like that's touching.
I believe so. Our judge is getting in there, and Scott Parrott says
That's a
12 for Rodney. There
Good
we
job.
go.
That's the first 12 we've seen on that target so far.
Yep. Now we're coming around to Rick Baker on the Schwacker Wolverine. That's going to be.
See how that target glistens?
Yeah.
I don't know what that looks like aiming at, but it's got almost like a gloss finish on it.
Yeah, where there's a reflection, what can you see?
Yeah.
How's it, affecting?
So that was a 10 for Rick, right?
Yes. So here we are at Tim Gillingham maintaining that 456, and Nathan Brooks, Rodney Greathouse there. Oh, excuse me, 466 for Tim Gillingham.
Yep.
452 for Rodney Greathouse. It's his birthday today.
He just got a birthday present.
What a great birthday present to make the podium.
Yeah, and he
at
stepped
the
out.
ASA.
He's distinguished himself as the sole second place shooter
Yep.
now. So we got a good look at Michael Braden, who, as I said, has been doing this a long time. He's a great coach. Like, he coaches so many shooters in the Dallas, Texas area.
One of his shooters, Rendon Brooks, we're going to see here in Women's Known Pro shortly.
Strong shot. Wraps up on that index finger and just pulls through it nice and clean. Good explosion as he shoots. That's one of the things that they were trash talking about earlier. Gillingham was saying that Braden was on the struggle bus because he didn't know how to punch. All he knows how to do is squeeze that trigger.
Yes. So he and Tim shoot the same style of release, index finger, but they shoot it very differently.
Yeah. Michael's waiting for it to just surprise and go off, and Gillingham says, I want it to go now. But it is fun. It was so fun.
That was a 10 for Rick on the Leopard. And next up we got Jeff Borg on the Gas Coyote. Oh, excuse me. That's
Tim.
Jeff Borg was on the Leopard,
yeah.
and this is Tim on the Coyote.
He told me a little bit ago all he's got to do is center plug every target.
That's it.
And so I don't expect any fireworks from him.
No.
Until he's finished.
Exactly. Yeah. 14-point lead right now.
Yeah.
Again, if he ends 5 targets, 10 points clear. We don't shoot a 6 there.
That's right.
He just wins.
That's right. So we got a good 10 on the Bodoodle bedded buck for
48 yards. Michael Braden.
Yeah.
Rodney Greathouse, the birthday boy. We don't know how old he is, but he's got a lot of gray hair, so
well,
we're over the half-century mark.
That is a 10 for Rodney. And I'll just say this isn't his first year in the senior division, so we know he's at least 50. Yeah. You know,
all right.
What the camera is not catching, which I love, and I used to be the young guy out here. I'm 46 or 7. I don't even remember anymore. But I used to be the young guy, and I used to laugh at all these guys that would turn their binoculars around to set their sights because they couldn't see.
Yes.
PJ, I'm right there now. I
Yeah.
just about have to do that.
Now we saw at least 4 guys taking out their reader glasses to do it.
But I'm going to tell you what you got here, though. As much fun as I like to poke at these guys, there's a ton of experience here that has a ton of knowledge of what archery is all about. I've looked up to many of these guys my entire life. Michael Braden's one of them. Shot with him for many, many years. I've known Rick Baker for a long time. He's originally from up New England. Hey, we got somebody shooting at
Jeff
14.
Borg gunned at the 14, but he did not get it. Rodney's on a long hold there.
Good.
And he called. Oh, he did not call it.
I don't think he called it.
No, he didn't.
It's a lower. Now you know what? It's a senior class. He may have meant to call it and thought he did, and forgot to move the flag.
So you should mention that upper 12 that you saw there where he was. He has to call that. Only the lower's in play automatically. If you want that upper, they have a little flag they turn and they say, I want the upper. When they do that, then the lower is only worth 10 points.
So we've got a really close arrow call right here.
Yeah.
You can see that it's pulling and stretching. I don't know that it's touching, but it's definitely trying with all of its might to get there.
And that line, it's not as defined as you might think. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so Scott says it's 10. It's got pits and there's little air holes in it, and
it's foam.
Yeah, it's not perfect. It's not like a circle you see on paper.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and so what we also need to say is, so that potential line, any of those lines, is about 1/8 of an inch wide, but it's burned into the foam.
Yeah.
So it actually has depth to that line as well. So if you want to pull it from top to bottom, you can stretch that thing out and make it really wide, which is what I was saying before, how the arrows pull on the lines. And they can pull it all the way to themselves and suck it down into the target. But that one is not pulling it far enough to be a 10. That's actually an 8. So
Tim. I mean, I know he's got a big lead, but I still bet he's not happy with that.
Well, that was still part of his plan. He said, just plug them. So,
yeah.
But you're right. Knowing Tim, he's not happy with it.
No. Never likes shooting. I saw him get angry yesterday because he shot a 10 when he said, I should never miss that 12.
That was a good run at that Wolverine there by Michael.
Yeah.
He just come up shy. I don't know how many times I've hit that target and thought, yeah, that's it, and it not be hit.
So Tim maintains his 14-point lead.
There's the backwards binoculars.
There you go.
Yeah.
There it is. Yep, that acts as a magnifier.
What do you got?
Oh, sorry. Our scoreboard hadn't updated. We got a 12-point lead now for Tim Gillingham over Rodney Greathouse, 472. Rick Baker in third, 470. Michael Braden, 468. And so Nathan, now it gets important for 2, 3, and 4 because this is going to be most likely the last arrow. So they got to make something happen now to get on that podium.
Right. And whoever is on the Coyote has the closest one, so there's your biggest potential for a mover, and that's Rick.
That's Rick.
He could shoot the 14 here. It's only 32 yards. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I expect him to shoot at it.
Oh, Jeff Borg went for it for the 14. I believe Michael Braden got that 12 there.
That's close on that one. Yeah. I would say that's in, but
Rodney,
it's hard to say.
Yeah, Rodney Greathouse just shot on the Stan Leopard. I can't see.
That looks like a 10 just under the upper maybe.
Tim, I think, might have got the upper on the Wolverine. So
they're looking hard at this ram for Michael. It's so close. So
Scott
close.
Parrott says
it's a
that's
10.
a 10.
Yeah.
Right.
Hard call right there.
Yep.
The Stan Leopard
Here comes Rodney.
for Rodney.
He did call the
Very
upper.
close. Yeah.
But
You
he
know,
missed.
I think he probably meant to. I think he hit
so.
that last one.
Yeah.
And he forgot to lift the flag
I bet he did.
because he shoots all uppers, I think, and you just kind of get in a rhythm of doing things and you forget that you have to lift that flag if you want that upper.
So here comes Rick. So there's going to be no change there.
Nope, just shot at the 10. Barely. And obviously, it was a good call. If he'd have shot at the 14, that would have landed a little high, and that would have been possibly a 5. So that would have blown the third place finish.
Yeah, Jeff Borg went for the 14. Why not?
Touch low, just naked eye.
Yeah, low left. So this
But
is.
he had to run at it right there,
Yeah.
PJ. I mean, there's really no reason not
Why
to.
not?
He's in fifth
Fifth
place.
place. Last
Is
arrow.
the last arrow.
And here comes the hammer, Tim Gillingham.
And as
At
long
the
as this is a
Wolverine.
10 or better,
He called
We're
the upper.
done.
I think he got it. Just looking with my eye. They're taking a look at it, but.
he's shuffling.
Oh,
He's shuffling.
there he goes. Bang.
That's a 12.
There it is. 12.
So he said, no more am I going to just shoot centers. I got to shoot some rings.
Let's end this right now. So
Yeah.
it is going to end up with Rick Baker is our third place finisher. Rodney Greathouse is going to finish in second. Happy birthday to Rodney.
Yes, happy birthday.
Great birthday there. And Tim Gillingham is going to be our champion here in Senior Known Pro. To match his win last month in Benning. So back-to-back wins for Mr. Gillingham.
Yeah, not to, I guess, make light of the win, but look at what he just did adding to his score for Shooter of the Year.
Yeah. Yes.
Almost 2 full targets ahead of these
Exactly.
guys at this particular event. So huge added points for Tim. Obviously sitting in the driver's seat for Shooter of the Year. Got a lot of tournaments left, but
So
in good
here he
position.
comes around, Nathan. He's going to grab the headset. And there he is, Tim Gillingham, Senior Known Pro Champion. Tim, talk about this weekend because you put on a clinic.
Well, I think I finally got this bow figured out and shooting extremely well. Shot it at Break the Barriers last week, come home, made some changes, and I think I found what I need in it now, and it's just hammering. I had a lot of confidence going in, had a little boo-boo this morning, broke a knock right before we went out, destroyed my center serving. A little tense moment, but I got her back together and just started both days out phenomenal with 6-12s in a row and just kind of rode it from there. So shoot off was, I guess, a little lackluster, but I'm shooting over there in the back hall there, and I'm hitting high, and I'm thinking, am I really hitting high? And so I figured I had enough to, shoot at the lower, and I hit high. I hit high on the first one, so then I didn't cut the second one, and I hit low, and it was just back and forth. And I think I finally figured it out by the last target there. So,
well, regardless, however you did it, what a weekend! 16-point lead coming in here. We just mentioned what an add that is to your shooter of the year total for this year. That's got to feel good. I don't know how to say congratulations any better than just wow.
Well, thank you.
Because it was impressive.
That was one of the goals, too, is to try to get a little bit back on shooter of the year. My first tournament, I had some issues the first day, and, so that was kind of going to be my throwaway score. So I've got to, step it up and, put the work in, and I'm really excited for the way this thing's shooting. So,
well, I'd say you did a fantastic job of getting it all back together.
Congratulations, Tim Gillingham. You're our senior known pro champ.
All right, thank you.
All right, folks, don't go anywhere. We will be back here at the Easton Hoyt Pro-Am Bossier City Civic Center. Women's known pros up next.